Mm, 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 mm. Nico. Mm, 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 mm. Let's see. Mm. Oh, it's so dark. Oh, oh, it's so dark. It's weird. Wonder how I can adjust the Maya. Hmm. Hello. And hello. 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 It's close the door. Mhm. Mm. 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 Yeah, what time is it? 5:08. Christmas Day. Here we go. Okay. So, and then, let's see, it's already open. Do, 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 do. It's that one. Maybe it's, mm, man, got too many things open. Maybe I should close some things. Hmm. Oh, that's interesting. Mm, mm, mm. I should have kept that one open. Get that. Mm, 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 mm. Maybe I should check this one. If I could. Oh, you know what? Kicked out. I'm back. Oh boy. Oh, yeah, I had. Sorry about that. Hello, friends. Um, I'm going to share. Oh, no, I'm going to share what I have is up. Up. Let's see it. It's this. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Good. Okay. So, meditations on at mopedesha.com. Satakam, maybe. I've been saying Satakam. Like Shaka Khan, Satakam, Satakam, Shatakam. The S is almost like an SH. Not, not very loose. Like some people say Shiva, the god of Hinduism. Uh, some say Siva. So it's somewhere in between a Sha and a Sa. Siva. Atmopadesa Satakam. Satakam. Meditations on Atmopadesa Satakam. So Atmo means the self. Like it's an Atman. In this case, it would be like a universal self kind of thing. Hmm. A self common to everyone, perhaps. Hmm. Maybe it's Jung's collective unconscious. Hmm. I'm just speculating. So let's see. And then, so Atmopadesa means self instruction as opposed to Svadhyaya, which is self study. Well, you study by yourself, I guess. But what do you study? You study the scriptures mostly. But in Yamapasesa, you actually do study the self with a capital S through intuitively or meditationally. You come to realize certain things about the self. So we could treat this as a guided meditation to see if it will reveal to us our true self. If let's see if there's such a thing, or if we can find the definitions for what we're looking for in here. Because there's an idea about the karu that that's mentioned in the actually in the first verse. So let's look. So the karu is thought of as a supreme being, sometimes pronounced keru, supreme being. And another word used is cosmic egg, whatever that means. I've never heard of what or who uses that word cosmic egg. What's that mean? Cosmic egg. And another word that's used is mold. Mold. What is a mold? So, so is it like there's a mold out there for us? Like I came out of a mold that so maybe they could make copies of me. So it's all unclear and it's more difficult than quantum physics, quantum mechanics. And it does maybe they need to have a mathematics for this topic and create a mathematics for Advaita Vedanta, for non-dual Vedanta. See. So, so this was a transcript of the first 8 verses. Each verse, he talked about it for maybe 2 or 3 or 4 hours because he talked about it in the morning and in the evening. But then they pulled out of that a transcript, and then out of that they put it into a book. But this maybe this version of the transcript is a little bit less edited. More word for word. Let's see. I'll have to compare it because I have the book called That Alone. In the book That Alone, Guru Nitya Chaitanya Yati significantly edited his first 8 verses. So the following is a transcript of what actually transpired early those first 8 mornings. It includes the essential and powerful third evening talk. The third evening talk. So that would be on the third day, which would mean the third verse. But let's look at each verse. Here's verse 1. Uh, and I see that it's different from the way it's stated in the book. Filling the entire awareness of the knower at once, permeating the subjective self and shining as the world outside is the manifesting self. Mhm. To that, with the 5 senses withheld. The 5 senses withheld. So we have to shut down our 5 senses and prostrate again and again with humble devotion and chant. Okay. So, let me read it again. Filling the entire awareness of the knower, at once permeating the subjective self and shining as the world outside is the manifesting self. To that, with the 5 senses withheld, prostrate again and again with humble devotion and chant. So, this is the first verse of the Atmapadesa Satakam of Narayana Guru. We're going to have a swadhaya, a self-study, a self-instruction. Maybe it's a lowercase self. An auto-instruction. Actually, swadhaya, the way I found it using my artificial intelligence co-pilot assistant. I said told him. So what's the similarities and differences between Swadaya and Admopadesa? So they're kind of similar, but Swadaya is more like self study. Well, this is not much difference between the word study and instruction, but you could think of Swadaya as a self study uh, where you study books. And Atmapadesa is more of a self instruction where you, well, instruction suggests that you're instructed to practice some meditations to get you to know what the self is. Something like that. Let's see. Oh boy. So, but let's continue. It's based on this wonderful book. We're going to have a swadaya based on this wonderful book. Okay. It is not to be treated as just a book, but as the word of the Guru. Each word should be meditated upon with all profundity. Mhm. Each word should be meditated upon with all profundity. Each word should be meditated upon with all profundity. Okay. So, what are some of the words that we should be meditating upon? Hmm. Wow. There's a lot of words. Like I just mentioned a few, like before starting. Hmm. And others, like the word. What are some of the words that I've wondered about? What does it mean? Hmm. Yeah, just like the word Almapadesta. What does that mean? Swadaya, what does that mean? Hmm. Karu, what does that mean? Or Keru. Uh, uh, cosmic, which Karu could mean cosmic egg. So what does cosmic egg mean? And 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 it could mean mold. So what does mold mean? Hmm. And many other words. Like some of them will be in Sanskrit because, oh, well, because maybe it's best left untranslated because there's no word in English. And maybe it's used a lot already in the Sanskrit form, like karma, dharma, Buddha. Mhm. A lot of Sanskrit words in this study. Some of them might be in Malayalam, another uh, language. It's a living language that's based in India, and that language has maybe 60% Sanskrit already in it. So it's very similar to Sanskrit. And this work, the Atmapadesa Shatakam, was actually written in Malayalam by Narayana Guru. Let's see. So here we go. First, it says Arivilum eri arinit. Okay, so that's Malayalam. That's the language, the original language. It starts off the first verse starts off that way, and so we are always knowing something, seeing something, hearing something. So first, meditate on that aspect, knowing. Watch your awareness. So everything we know comes through awareness. There's nothing that we don't know that comes out of non awareness, right? So if we do meditation to stop our thinking, we could still stop thinking and yet be aware, right? Could we not be aware and not be thinking? Or is being aware a kind of thinking? No, the other way around. Is thinking a kind of being aware? Is thinking a kind of being aware? Like, well, if you're thinking, you may be aware of what you're thinking, right? Or could you be thinking and not be aware of what you're thinking? That's a possibility. It seems like there's so many thoughts happening that it's possible that one is not aware of what one is thinking. And if we assume or we expand our idea of thinking to be emotions, so perhaps we could think of emotions as a type of thinking that involves not mere, not just, not just, not just verbal sentences pouring out of our thinking generator, but maybe emotions are pouring out. So perhaps emotions are kinds of thinking, right? Or type of thinking. So, and then we could be producing images in our mind. So perhaps those images are kinds of thinking, and the way we interpret what we see in real time and what we bring up in imaginary time, could those not also be kinds of thinkings? Hmm. Or or is thinking different from awareness? So while we're generating thoughts, uh, is it possible to not be aware of them? Or as we are thinking thoughts, can we be aware of what we're thinking? Perhaps meditation is simply being aware of what we're thinking, because we're often not aware of what we're thinking. We're just letting thinking come out. And so now with meditation, we start to be aware of what we're thinking. We're thinking, oh, this this thought arose. Oh, now that thought arose. So we're going through thoughts and we're not aware of them. But with meditation, we can be aware of what we're thinking. Yeah, maybe that's all there is to it. That's all that meditation needs to be. But we like to make special kinds of meditations, perhaps to guide us along and to have certain kinds of thoughts arise, perhaps virtuous thoughts arise. Because in Tibetan, the word meditation, what they use for the word meditation is gom, and gom means becoming aware of virtuous ideas, virtuous objects, actually. That's more general, virtuous objects, maybe. So becoming familiar with virtuous objects is what meditation is to a Tibetan Buddhist monk. They use the word gom, and then the place where they meditate, they call it a gompa. Mm-hmm. So, okay, so let's see what else it says. So we're always knowing something. Yeah, that's this paragraph right here where it says first. Oops, first it says, okay, we are always knowing something, seeing something, hearing something. So first meditate on that aspect. We're always knowing something, seeing something, hearing something. So we're using all our senses to become aware of something. So perhaps knowing is using the mind, seeing is using the eye consciousness, and hearing, we're using the ear consciousness to hear something. Uh, so first meditate on that aspect. What's your awareness? Okay, let's try to be aware of what we're being aware of. The stream of consciousness that is passing through you. Identify your status as the knower. But I I am intuiting something, and more like speculating. What if we have to verify if this is true, what I'm about to say? And but then how can we prove its its truthfulness? It's or is it falsifiable? Can we falsify it? Can we uh, discover its truthfulness or its falsefulness? So what is it I'm going to say, or what I'm going to pronounce? What am I going to say that I think is more of a speculation? Okay, here's what I'm about to say. See if I can say it the way I think is clear, the way I think will make sense, the way I think will point to what I want to point to. So let's see. So I've heard. Here's a background note. I've heard that in a, I think I heard it on a video, YouTube video, and other places too, something similar. Hmm. That it is impossible for the observer to observe itself. Hmm. Let's see if I can say it another way. I've heard something like, maybe who was it that said that? I forget.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Let's see. I'm trying to trying to think what was I going to say about this. Okay, so okay, now let's look at the senses. So I forgot who said this, but the way it was said makes it sound like it's probably true. He said something like, oh, maybe it was Alan Watts. Alan Watts said something like this. And it was him. It was, I think it was a recording of not just him. I hope it was him, unless it was a AI, artificial intelligence, having him saying these things. But it sounded like his voice, at least. He said, I'm starting to doubt the video. Was it really him on video? Because there's tons of recording of Alan Watts. But he said something like this. So we can't, or I can't use my eye to see my eye with. Well, except for maybe I could cheat and look in the mirror. Hmm. But like I can't use my eye to see the back of my eye, or what, there will only be one point of view to see my eye with my eye. And it will probably be by looking at a mirror. And so that's one sense. The other sense would be hearing. So uh, hmm, I can't hear my ear, could you say? Can't use my ear to hear my ear. And I can't use my touch to touch my touch. I can't touch I can't use my touch to touch my touch. I can't use my touch to touch my touch. Hmm. I can't use my touch to touch my touch. Hmm. Can't use my touch to touch my touch. Well, that was only two sentences. What about my tongue? I can't taste. Could I say I can't taste my tongue? Yeah, I guess I could. Maybe that's what Alan Watts would have said. I can't taste my tongue. I can't. Oh, how about lips? I can't kiss my lips. Mm-hmm. Interesting. And things like that. You could probably come up with others, but for now, what I sense is that I could I could apply this to mental processes. I can't really be aware of my awareness because I'll be using my awareness to become aware of my awareness. So I can't be aware of my awareness. Hmm. Except maybe like with the case of my eyes looking at a mirror, perhaps there's a way to watch what's happening, like on a tool, like uh, EEG. You get feedback. Hey, how are you? So I cannot be aware of my awareness, except maybe a delayed version of my awareness. When I speak, you understand the words. Notice how your consciousness penetrates into the meaning of what I say. When I speak, you understand the words. Notice how your consciousness penetrates into what I say. It is as if you are entering a room and becoming acquainted with it. Similarly, you enter into the word content, become familiar with the concept within it. When you look, you are not only seeing a form, you are entering into the essence of it and knowing it. Mhm. To the extent that you can, as good as you can, I would add. In English, the word experience means an interaction between a knower and something to be known. Okay, knower and something to be known. The object to be known. Knower and object to be known. Observer and object to be observed. Experience is the link between the knower and the known. Experience is the link between the knower and the object to be known. In Sanskrit, the word for experience, anubhava. Anubhava means becoming the same. Anubhava. Anubhava. Interesting. It is not an interaction, but a transformation. So, who gets transformed? The knower is getting transformed. The knower is transforming into what is known. Wow. What is the knower is transforming into the object to be known. Hmm. So let's imagine that that is so. Let's imagine that everything that we are awareness. We are awareness. And so there is the knower and the object to be known, but when the knower becomes aware of the object to be known, the knower becomes the object to be known. It's transformed into the object to be known. Is that possible? So everything I'm looking at is actually me. I'm transforming into that. Hmm. That's an interesting way of looking at things. Everything I'm looking at is me. Everything. It is the structure of the language into which we put our thoughts that creates the differences between things. Oh, and the separation between me as the knower and the object to be known as being separate. But if I take it, if I temporarily take as true as a belief, it's possible to believe that every object that I am knowing is making me that the knower that object. So everything I'm looking at is becoming me. Hmm. Everything I hear is becoming me. Everything I taste is becoming me. Everything I feel, I touch is becoming me. Every everything I cognize is becoming me. So I'm just my me is expanding. Myself is expanding. Mm, mm, mm. Interesting. Mm, 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 mhm. Sí, eso popó. Mhm, mhm, mm, 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 mhm. Ok. De ahora hay que sacar la basura. Uy. Mm, okay. Uh, let's see. Now let's try another meditation. There is a state of knowing in which you become oblivious of your personal aspect as the knower. Hmm. 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 Fact, usually we aren't thinking of ourselves at all. Am I thinking about myself at this moment?
Mucho recycling. Debíamos poner una caja, llevar cosas chiquitas y ponerlas en la basura, porque no nos va a caber nada. Y busquemos una bolsa, esta.
Let's see. Mm. Mm.
No nos va a caber. Eh, Afuera se pueden poner cajas grandes
Mm,
porque esas se han llevado, ¿verdad? Poner unas afuera, pero
ujú,
no es.
ujú.
¿Cómo es esta caja?
Mira,
Estas
sí.
cajas se pueden meter dentro
Mm, mm,
y se pueden poner allá afuera. Uy, pero que no se vea el tráiler. Oh.
y afuera,
Se pueden poner,
afuera, afuera,
sí, dentro de una caja.
dentro
Y
de una casa. Mm,
no, no, Jairo, aquí, en esta, meta esto aquí
ujú,
y ahí en eso. Entonces se pone ahí afuera a ver si se lo llevan.
ujú,
Si no se lo llevan, pues
ujú,
no, no podemos.
ujú,
Tienes que cosas en tu cuarto. Y el baño también, para quedarme en el baño.
ujú, ujú, ujú. ¿De quién es este?
Todos esos eran de Arelis.
Uy,
Yo les
déjalo todo.
había dicho que no me dejaran tanto eso.
Mm,
Mira, yo saco esta parte.
mm, ok. Mm, 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 ok. Mm, 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 ok. Let's see. Mhm. Okay, so let me plug this in here. Hold on. I'll be right. Mhm. No. Let's see. Mm, 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 I'm taking that test. Mm, 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 mm. Okay, that's good. Mm, 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 mm. Get it, yeah. Mm, mm. Right, right, right. Picking up. So I mindfully took the opportunity. Uh, so, what happened? Hmm, 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 hmm,
Ah, siempre yo dejo, aquí dejo basura y también
hmm, 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 hmm,
no, eso
hmm, 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 hmm. Okay, I'm putting the box, some boxes of garbage on the curb. Mhm. Hmm. I can put this right there, like this. Maybe a bit this way. Oh, yeah, it that way. Hmm, 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 hmm. So where was I? Oh, I've got it out there. Hmm, 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 Hmm. Okay. Mhm. 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 So let's try. There is a state knowing. There is a state of knowing in which you become oblivious to your personal aspect as the knower. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm. There is a state of knowing which you become oblivious of your personal aspect as the knower. Mm-hmm. 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 So, where was I? There is a state of knowing in which you become oblivious to your personal aspect, the knower. So I'm thinking that the first part of the verse was to get you to think about yourself as the knower and maybe think about objects to be known and perhaps think about the possibility that when you are knowing an object, you're transforming the knower into what is known. So there's no separation between the knower and what is known. And now meditate on this. There is a state of knowing in which you become oblivious of your personal aspect as the knower. You no longer realize that you are you. You forget about yourself. In fact, Usually we aren't thinking of ourselves at all. The I am knowing, I am enjoying, I am doing this, that, I'm taking the garbage out only comes when we try to tell someone else what I'm doing. Otherwise, it is only just knowing. You've forgotten about yourself. It is the structure of the language into which we put our thoughts that creates differences between things. Now try to meditate. If you see a bird on a tree, you don't think it is happening in your head as an occurrence of knowledge. So let's see. Try to meditate on this. So I could go like this. Now, now try to meditate on this. Let's see. Now try to meditate. There's this state of mind. To your personal aspects. Take yourself at all. Comes try to tell someone else. So I mm, Mhm. Now I'm going to add this continuation. See, I'm going to put this here. Good. Hmm. Okay, so I better stop sharing and close the shop. Mm-hmm. Mhm. So, well, so how do you like that? So I'm going to say goodbye. So I would have liked to have uploaded this to Buddhism for Happiness for all, but I am not able to, as far as I can tell. Well, it takes a while to get permission to be able to do that. I don't know exactly what are the of the requirements. Maybe you have to have a certain number of followers or a certain amount of time doing this. Not sure. But okay, so I'm going to say goodbye. Thank you very much. Hope you subscribe. I'll see you Saturday.